Greetings, welcome everybody to another conversation to raise the collective conscious. I am your host, Renee Zukin, here in Midwest Elevation. Excited to greet you again today. Here in Midwest Elevation, our mission is to support the elevation of your mood, your mindset, and your motivation. So we are so happy you are joining us today. Our guest today is Britt Bjørgård. She is from Norway. Today we're going to be talking about spirituality, consciousness, and leadership. Let me tell you a little bit about Britt before we get into our conversation. She is a woman's transformational empowerment coach and kundalini yoga teacher. Her overall mission is to be a part of the current movement of shifting the human state of consciousness so we can create paradise on earth, serving humanity and the greater good on this planet. I love that so much. Right to my heart, Britt. Britt takes a stand for women having a well of innate gifts and wisdoms to be re-empowered and brought into the world, applying new skills so that they can have a greater impact and success in their life, relationships, and work. The divine feminine is a true power and gift to the world in the Aquarian Age. Britt has been self-employed for 20 years, supporting people from all walks of life and businesses as a coach and consultant. Welcome, Britt. We are so excited you are here today, and how wonderful that your mission here is to elevate the consciousness, which is what we are doing right here in the Midwest as well. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm very excited to start our little journey together and talk about this, my favorite topics, because these days I think this is a very important topic also, because we need to elevate and start to look inside in order to find our ways into the future, into a brighter, more loving and conscious future.
Absolutely. And I love how you say looking inside, because, one of my taglines here is doing the inner work to see the outer change. It's like if we want to see, our world become a better place, we got to absolutely, like you just said, look inside. So tell me a little bit about your journey to up to this point, how you came to realize, of course, that inner work is so vital to seeing the change you want to see in the world.
I think I want to go back 22 years. I will not dwell with that, but I actually burned out first time when I was 38 years. That was like hit me, and I was in a place where I had everything. I had a wonderful partner, I have kids, a big house, we were traveling, I had a nice work, a good income, and then boom. And I was like, what is this? I just felt empty, I felt sad, I was tired, and then I thought, well, I went to the doctor, he didn't find anything wrong with me, and surprisingly not. And he offered me just a sick leave and some pills to get up in the mood, and I didn't say yes to that. So I started my own journey, and the first thing I did was actually, I understood finally that I had a body. Because my life was from here and up, from the chin and up. I wasn't actually being aware of my body and anything. So I was just working and had all my focus outside. So that was my first step. I recovered. I started my coaching business. I was doing a lot of things. And in 2017, I started the yoga center. And I was very passionate about that. It was like a new birth, a new baby. But after a while, I just felt something was wrong. It wasn't totally aligned with me. I felt everything I was doing there was very hard, even though I love to teach yoga. I've been doing that for 10 years and studying it also and practicing myself. And so I closed it, and that was like, it was a relief, but it was also a financial catastrophe for me.
Yeah.
So, and then I just realized that I had to really take a much deeper look within.
Mm.
Because I have seen during the years that are very easy for me to go back to old pattern, and especially stress. Thinking, planning, strategizing, and forgetting that I actually am a spirit having a physical experience in this planet, and I wasn't aligned. So I have used actually the last year to tap into myself much deeper and understood and experience, because one thing is what you understand in your mind as a mental concept. The another thing is experience. So I come to the conclusion that now to grow, to develop, to create new businesses, to lead, it's all about experience. And you and choose what you want to experience. And that has been my journey for me, to really get into my own consciousness and understand that I have to be my true self. I have all this in me, but I don't find it outside, actually.
Yeah.
So it has been a deep, deep, deep journey for me. A lot of meditation, a lot of yoga, a lot of writing to really feel more than I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that has been quite a journey. So now I'm like, woke up again to a new layer. It's layers. I had to go through different layers, and of course, this last year also, if we are looking at it through a spiritual glasses, it has been an upheaval of so much old stuff, old programming, old beliefs, all experiencing, all grief, all sort of wounds that I also needed to heal. So it's actually been quite a full-time work.
It has been full-time work. Well, and the entire planet is experiencing that upheaval, We are being forced to kind of look at everything that hasn't been working.
Yeah.
And reconcile with it. Like, how am I going to do this life differently than I've been doing, because all these pieces aren't working.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an incredible journey, and and it continues. It's never we don't just, oh, now I'm enlightened, all done. It is that deeper layer, that next level.
I come to the conclusion that it's or my experience is again that it is a lifelong journey, but when you come into and start to connect with your own soul essence, which for me is consciousness, which is like the frequency of my true self, things become easier. Like the first time I burned out and all the other dips I have had in the last 20 years, this was easier, even though it has been much deeper, because I was much more aware of starting to listen more within, to feel my feelings, not think my feelings. That's in a pattern. So it's to totally start to bring yourself into a new state of consciousness by feeling your feelings, and also alchemize the feelings, the fears, the shame, all these things that comes up. You feel like a failure. This didn't work either. So no, what am I totally stupid? How many times am I going to do?
Are you in my brain right now? No.
So yeah, so that's interesting. And that is also, yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I love how you say that, that it was easier, and I have to say that a lot of what you're saying is mirroring my own experience, in finding that obviously things have been really, really difficult, and I've had also these deep moments of of sort of feeling that darkness at a level that I never experienced before, but I don't stay there. Like, I maybe have used to. So it is easier in the sense of, oh, now I know the tools, I know how to, feel my feelings and let them move through, so I'm not, stuck in that dark place. And I think it's it's really important that you've spoken to that as well, that it's that the hard stuff doesn't stop happening, but that it's easier to carry it in some ways and experience it.
Yeah, I think actually to choose consciously a spiritual path, that is not about you're not going to have challenges in life. But when you are more aligned with your own soul essence, your own truth, my ability to navigate through it becomes much easier. I'm not fighting it, because it's very easy when you hit challenges in life that you start to fight. You fight with yourself, you beat yourself up, you're blaming yourself, you're blaming your neighbors, your cat, your children, everyone, and like it's all a fight. But when you have chosen and are on a spiritual path and understand that connecting with your soul essence, you have all the wisdom within, you're able to navigate through all this chaos and all the things in a much easier way. You don't get exhausted by it, even though it can be difficult. Nobody says it's easy,
Right.
But it's another journey. So what I have noticed, actually, even though my finances in 2019 totally collapsed, I lost a lot of money. And I am actually tend to be my money sort of mind, or my consciousness about money has been based on fear.
Yeah.
And I think the most important thing I learned from this was my ability to move through fear in the way that felt easy. Because you can scare yourself to death when you are in this cave and you see all the bad things, all the ugly things in your own life. You are there, and when you have this ability and the inner power to get yourself out there and not be so scared about what you see in this cave, it's much easier. So that is what I'm so passionate about, especially teaching women, because we have so many programs. We have we are so conditioned with so many things that are holding us back. And the part of my study as a kundalini yoga teacher is to study the design of women and the innate power we have, and that we, in many ways, at least I have to speak for myself, and I can see it with a lot of people I have worked with also, which is basically women, that we are so disconnected from the true power as a powerful divine creator as we is, because we have all these gifts and we sort of forget it, and we start to try to fit in values which is not actually your true values. And that's like, I think the thing which has brought me most sadness in my life, I think, is that I, in many ways, and I see also many other women do that, we are not value our values, or not living our values in a way that we are true to ourselves, because we try to fit in, and we are doing instead of being the powerhouse we are, and start to attract what we actually would love to experience.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you speak so much truth, Britt. It is, and why it's so hard for women to stand in their power, right? You mentioned the programs, and how powerful they are, for us to be thinking about putting other people first and making sure everything else is taken care of, or fitting in with our friends and our family, not wanting to you know, so I think it is so many women struggle, and I struggle with that too. You know, it comes and goes in waves. So how are you? I guess like I want to know like what's the secret? Of course, there isn't just one secret, but you know, if you can recognize that you're not aligned, or that even you're just feeling that something is off, right? How do we get to that next step of understanding where, how to realign ourselves? Like what are we looking for? How do we know if we're aligned?
Well, at first you have to acknowledge and accept that you are not aligned, and you can feel that if it's something you feel like anxious, or it's like unease, or it's pain, or whatever it is. And the most simple tool, and the most cheapest tool, and the most available tool is actually to start to connect with your breath.
Mm.
And the trick is for the breathing, because the breathing is actually a sort of, if you start to monitor how you breathe, if you are breathing very, very shallow and fast, your body and your mind and everything is in stress mode.
Yeah.
So the trick is to sit down, close your eyes, be still, and breathe. Just catch up with your breath and start to slow down the breath. That is like the way in. And the thing is that you can just sit, you can put your focus here in between the eyebrows, and you can inhale deeply and follow the breath up here, and you release it and start to actually inhale and exhale and feel the breath go through the bridge of the nose and into your lungs, and you're following it out, and then the body start to relax. You are calming down, and then you can start to listen and feel more deeply.
So just you speaking that, I already feel more relaxed than I did when I even asked you the question. It's true. It's easy. It's right there.
The body is it is so easy to work with when you know how to work with it. And we are 99% energy, a spiritual being, and the breath is our spirit. The breath is actually what animates us. If you're not breathing, if you're not taking in oxygen and a life force, which we are bathing in all this energy, then what? That's the most important thing we do. And to understand and start to feel how these things land in your body, and feel your body. I was been fighting my body for years. I think it was when I was around 52, after I started with yoga, that I understood that my body is not actually something I'm going to beat up by starving it, by stressing it, by exercise like a man, which stress the kidneys out of your body, all these things. And women, we are training ourselves to adapt ways of treating our bodies as men, that actually burns us out. I noticed that also when it was later in my journey, when I hired a personal trainer, and he was, I thought I was, I will be killed by it, but I was like adaptive, and I did this whole thing, and run uphill, and because I was very, very tired, and I heard from my doctor that you have to exercise.
Right.
What a stupid thing to do. And I said to I can't do this. So the thing was that I did a little exercise, and then I did a lot of relaxation.
Yeah.
And when I started with yoga, I understood that you activate your energy by moving the body, then you relax to integrate. So let the body take the food from, or what, get the benefits from the exercise you have been doing.
Right.
And it was like,
yeah.
wow, it's a totally new way of being, because when you're burned out, not your kidneys, but your adrenals, they are sort of been working too hard. So you need to relax. You need to really let these recover, because the kidneys and adrenals is actually the batteries of the body.
You are saying so many beautiful pieces of wisdom here, talking about the batteries of the body, the breath being our spirit. I'm blown away by, the absolute truth of the body really needing to rest in order to integrate the work from the exercise, regard, any kind of movement, right? It makes so much sense to me to hear that now. Like, oh yeah, and we don't have to be continuously, working ourselves to the bone, because it will just exhaust us. You have to, have the balance and refill the battery.
Yeah, and that is the difference between men and women. Men, they excel on adrenaline. Women excel on oxytocin, which is the relaxing part of, the relaxing hormone. Right. So as a woman, our power lies within when we are relaxed and calm. And as a woman, when you can tap into your own sanctuary within, where there's peace, there is stillness, you can actually orchestrate the whole world from within, because you are so powerful.
That is so beautiful.
So think of it, when I noticed that in my family, because in my previous lives I was like talking, doing, shouting, screaming, doing all the bad things. And you just mess up the whole relationship.
Yeah.
But when I understood that I needed to slow down, that the peace within creates the peace outside, as we started to talk about, the outer is a reflection of the inner. There's the power. Yeah. We don't have to work our asses off or doing.
Yeah, I needed that reminder.
Isn't that just a relief?
It is. It's a huge relief. Thank you for the permission to rest. I needed that.
We need to rest, and we need to realign with ourselves. When I am out, and if I have been having a busy day, sit down on my yoga mat or in the sofa, close my eyes, breathe, just slow down the breath and rest.
Yeah.
Give yourself permission to rest, because that is how we can nurture ourselves. And we need to nurture ourselves. We need to nurse ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves to be powerful, to be leaders in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
If we are at war inside, we are creating the mess around us. And we don't have the sustainability in order to lift things off. That was another big learning for me, because when I did this, and I realized that afterwards, when I started this yoga center, I didn't have the power, the energy, the stamina, the vitality in my body in order to lift it off the ground.
Yeah. Yep.
So when you are an entrepreneur, you really need to build up that power, that power in your body, in your mind, and be aware of how you use your energy.
Yeah, you can't spread it too thin, because then you don't have that ability to put the focus and the energy into the aligned work. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, I'm loving this so much. I can't wait to I'm gonna go journal and like think about all the ways in which I can remind myself, right, to rest and to feel that empowerment. I just love it. And you are such a light, and you're supporting so many women. I do want to make sure that I mention for all our folks in Midwest Elevation that you do have a Facebook group, Empower Your Inner Leader. So if you've got that call, if you've been working on something and you know you have a vision and you want to pull that into the world, Britt has a wonderful space in order to support you in connecting to that and doing that.
Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about your Facebook group. What could people find in there?
Well, now in the beginning, I have been posting a little bit, doing a little bit of questions, but I'm starting now to flesh out my program, both coaching programs, but also other programs, in order to help women to tap into their true powers and re-empower themselves and take out or awaken all the gifts and bring that out in the world. And it's something also about to find your own purpose and to align that, because what I have noticed, and that has also been a lot from my own life, the feeling of lacking a direction, that can stress. Okay, I have been there, I've done that. You know, when you're around 40 or 35, you have done a lot of things, and it's very easy to get into I call it a roundabout.
Yes, yes.
Particularly which way you're going to take, so you take different ways, at least what I did. But it's easier also when you have a support in order to be inspired to get within and start to experience and create from what do I really love to experience in my life.
Yes.
What is the experience I want to have with my friends, my partner, with my body, my own relationship to myself? What kind of experience do I want to have in my business or in my work or whatever? So it's to open up your heart and start to tap into that and feel that. That's a total different way of creating than thinking that I want and wish. Because that comes from the mind, and mind can, at least my mind has tricked me.
Oh yes.
It's a trickster because it is dualistic, and we need to how to say this, not be so attached to role and all the outer. We need to have a relationship to our infinitive self and our true self. So that is the pieces I want to teach.
Oh, that's beautiful. Infinity of self. That just sounds so, it sounds so powerful, but not like in a just that empowered. I can't, like, the words are failing me because I'm feeling it. It's just, there's a strength and there's a support there that feels so different.
It's always there. You have it with you all the time. We just have to learn to connect with it, because our physical body is finite. We don't live until we are many thousand years, but our soul, our spirit are infinite. And from a yogic perspective, that is traveling out into new adventures when we are ready to leave our physical experience. And the wisdom we have, and especially like women, it says that we are a full circle. We contain everything of this wisdom when we start to tap into it. And I think this knowledge, what I have learned myself, I really want to bring out to so many other women, because it's so it's so thriving.
Yeah.
And also, it's so necessary right now, because the toxic masculine is actually about to kill the whole planet.
Right.
Very hard words. That's the truth.
Yes. Yes. So it is time. It is time for the rising feminine empowerment.
Yeah.
And how wonderful that you are here creating this space and offering your wisdom and your light to so many women who are ready and willing to step into their powerful leadership, even if it's right just for themselves. Like that's enough. Right?
That's totally enough, because just doing that yourself, to step into your own golden circle, will actually change the world. Because when you are elevating your own frequencies and consciousness, you have an impact. You can just sit and do that, and you can feel it.
Yeah.
You don't, and women, we are attractors.
Yeah.
We are not supposed to work hard and hunt things like men. We are actually attractors, but we need to take care of ourselves
Yes.
and our beautiful vehicle in order to have all these faculties working for us.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Well, and I want to let everybody here in Midwest Elevation know that you have a gift for us. For anybody here who's wanting to learn more about the work that you do, who's needing some clarity, maybe they're on that roundabout, wondering which exit to take. That you have a clarity session, a free session that they are welcome to work with you to kind of figure out what is that next step.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So they can actually either tap into my Facebook page, or they can actually send me an email.
Okay, perfect. Well, we'll make sure that we get the links to the Facebook page and your email
Yeah.
info out to everybody. I'll have those in the comments. Thank you again so much for joining us today, Britt. I feel so inspired and motivated, which is I'm just excited. This is exactly what I needed today. So let us know in the comments, everyone, if this is what you needed to hear as well, because it is such a sweet way to. I just feel so much more energized having this conversation. So I know that I'm not alone. We're not alone. This is a journey that so many women are on, especially right now. So thank you for being here as a guiding light and support. We appreciate that so much.
And thank you for inviting me and have this conversation. I'm so grateful for actually have the opportunity to share what I am carrying in my heart. So I'm very, very grateful.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And let us know if you have any questions. Leave them in the comments. We will get back to you soon. And again, thank you for joining us on this Tuesday. We will be back next Tuesday right here in Midwest Elevation with another conversation to raise the collective conscious. And we'll see you then. Thanks, everyone.